Namaste, everybody, and happy Sunday or whatever day it is that you are watching this. You're going to have a great day today because I have some really exciting stuff that I'm sharing with you today. This past week, ever since the CIA declassified their experience on the gateway technique in conjunction with the Monroe Institute, meaning the CIA had done experiments on astral projection and time travel and God and the absolute. And of course, they declassified the files. So, me being who I am, downloaded them and I went through the entire thing with like a fine tooth comb. And oh, the stuff I found is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So, we're going to talk about that. It is interesting because I want to say about, must have been about 23 years ago. I remember hearing about the Monroe Institute and I looked them up. And I remember ordering a HemiSync CD because I was fascinated with this meditation, this form of transcendental meditation that they were teaching, that you could literally move through portals and you could learn how to astral project. And with my own extrasensory abilities, I was like, I wonder how that would work with me because it's very easy for me to move in and out. So I was like, I wonder how that would be for me. And I remember getting the CD and I put my headphones on. And like 4 minutes in, I was like, absolutely not, absolutely not. I pulled the headphones off. And for some reason, I had this like kind of rejection to it that it was either I think I felt myself leaving my body immediately. And because I wasn't too well educated at that time in the hemisync technique and the Monroe Institute, I was like, I don't think I should be doing this. I don't think I should be playing around with this just now. So I ended up turning the CD off, but have been very interested in their techniques and everything since. So, anywho, the CIA did this experiment called the Gateway, which obviously is perfect because it's a gateway and it was so amazing. So, anyway, I'm not going to read you everything, it's way too big a file, but there was a few things that I highlighted and wanted to talk about more so because lately, there's so many distractions going on out in the field, like so many distractions. And, uh, you know, pop culture, I hate to say it, but pop culture is one of them. And there's like so much activation and vibration about that it almost like pulls your attention. And I totally get why they've given so many distractions in the field because ultimately, and I've said this before, they don't want us to remember who we are. They don't want us to come back into that state of God consciousness, back into that divine state of love and of power. They don't want all of us to stand up in our power again. Because when you do that, you're not controllable. When you stand in your own power, not from a place of hate, but from a place of love, but just stand in who you are, it's very hard to control people when that happens. So, anyway, this has to do with healing and it has to do with teleportation, astral projection, and a lot of stuff that I can do with my extrasensory abilities. So, something that the document had stated was the biofeedback is a term that they use for some of their experiments they did. Anyway, it says the biofeedback teaches the left hemisphere first to visualize the desired result and then recognize the feelings associated with the experience. So, and then it goes into like the right hemisphere of the brain and what that ends up doing together. And then it said, in this way, this is if you're thinking about healing, say there's a part of your body or there's things on your body that they're not up to par, you're not at optimum right now. And so you want to heal that. It talks about this. And then it says, in this way, pain can be blocked, healing can be enhanced, malignant tumors can apparently be suppressed and ultimately destroyed. Now, I teach this all the time. I talk about this all the time. And in my guided meditations, so what they're summarizing there, I mean, I've taken a lot of papers and like highlighted just that. It's visualization. But what they're going to talk about, they're going to talk about how we are living in, and they have proved that we're living in a hologram. Like, this is not real. None of this is real. What you are wearing right now, the body that you're wearing and the name you're going by, it's not real. We are from somewhere else. We are energy. We are spirit. We are in these bodies. Think of it like a video game or like Avatar. Like you're playing the video game and you choose the body because you choose the body and then you choose the family members and then you choose certain things. Think of it like a video game. You insert yourself in, right? So if you're playing a video game, it's a simulation. So you choose a character and then you choose a name and then you go inside and you're playing the game. And each level that you go on, like someone said to me the other day, a really good friend of mine, she goes, Natalie, you've really leveled up lately. Like you've leveled up. And I love that sentence because I'm like, that's what this is about. If we are in a hologram, right, which is what the documentary, The Matrix, was trying to teach us. If we're in this hologram and every level we are leveling up, we're moving up level 1, level 2, level 3. And in every single level, we encounter different challenges and different characters and all these different scenarios in order to figure out, okay, so how do I get through this? And what tools do I need? All those computer games, you collect tools, right? This is one of my superpowers, and that's one of my superpowers. And then you collect all these tools. I'm telling you, these games were literally made to try and wake us up, be like, yo, you're living in it. You're literally living in this. When are you going to wake up? So we choose these bodies and these names, and every single level we go through, we're learning, right? We're experiencing, we're having heartache, and sometimes we get killed. We meet an opponent and they kill us. But then can't we just come back to life? Don't we start all over again? We do, right? We go, oh, level ended, you got to go back again and start all over. How many times in your life have you literally died? I've died. When my daughter died, I died. But I was born again. And I came back to life. And I was different. I came back with certain superpowers, which all of you did. How many times have you burned away the old avatar, the old character, the old role that you were playing, and all the attributes that came with that role? And you've died, and it's been a death of that version of you, right? And then you've stepped up as the phoenix rises from the ashes. You stepped back in. You've taken on who you are now, but you've stepped into it. And you're also no longer afraid of the things that killed you on level 3 because you went through it. And then you talk about it and you go, yeah, but I learned from that. And this is what I learned from that. And then you give that out to other people who in their journey are on their own level 3. Because keep in mind, there's no one on earth that is walking your walk. No one. It's not possible. There's no one in this game, in this hologram, in this matrix that is walking your walk. They're not, just you. There's other people on those levels, and they might have similar things going on, but no one has your DNA. No one has your fibers. No one has all of your memory recall. No one has your perspective and your perception. Just you. So you can offer wisdom to the next person saying, well, this is what helped me at that point on my journey on that level. And they can take it or leave it, right? That's the best we can do in life. They can take it or leave it because we all have free will at the end of the day. But what this is saying is visualization is real. It is real. You cannot solve something from the same consciousness that was used to create it. You can't. You can't be in an energy field of the problem and still talk about the problem and then think that you're going to solve it. It's not possible. So if you've created something in your life and you're talking about it, every time you talk about it, you're banging the drum of that over and over again. So you're going to see it over and over again. If you keep saying, well, this is the issue and this is the problem, guess what? You're going to keep creating that. You can't keep talking about a car crash and then not expect to keep experiencing a car crash. I know it's hard. And, that victim mentality, I know it's hard sometimes because you want to talk about it. You want to get it out. I'm telling you, you're creating it over and over and over again. Stop talking about it. There's such a thing as, and this is where the fork kind of splits in the road. There's such a thing as, yes, expressing something and getting it out, not to other people because that's gossip, not to anybody else. But if you have a therapist or you have a support group, it's okay to talk about things and to get it out, obviously. But at some point, you need to go to the next level. At some point, you need to get over that and go to the next level. Otherwise, You're keeping yourself in level 2 forever. And you know what happens? Apathy, depression, suicidal thoughts, substance abuse. I'm telling you, if you keep yourself in a certain energy and you keep choosing it over and over, you're never going to level up. I do want to say, and I know we're going between like the hologram, the matrix, and the absolute, which is up there. The more you learn this, the more you research, the more you study, the more you meditate, the more you open yourself up to it, I promise you, these levels get easier and easier. It doesn't mean every day is going to be easy. Things are going to come at you. Things are going to come at you. People are going to come at you. Trust me, you trigger people with your light. And when people have not yet healed their own trauma, they will project their ego onto you. Just don't take it personally. Visualization. So you create something in your life and you went through the catalog before you came here and you said, okay, I'm going to choose this. I'm going to choose this. I'm going to choose this. Right. And then you get here and you go, why on God's earth would I choose that? Well, you wanted to know, you wanted to experience, you wanted that level. And you will never get more on your plate, I promise you, than your soul knows that you can handle. Your human self might not know it, but your soul knows you can handle it. I promise you. That's why you chose it. That's why you chose it with your guides, with your angels, with all of them. Everyone at play helped you pick this life and choose all of it. So you created something and you're in a certain consciousness, you're in a certain frequency when you chose it. Now, if you're seeing the same cycle repeat over and over and over again, you have to start to say, well, what is the opposite of that? Like, what is it that I want? What is it that you already got what you don't want? You're aware this is not the energy I want to be anymore. Okay, so what is the opposite? Okay, so all you need to do is start to visualize that. But remember, it says, feel the feelings associated with the experience. So this is what I do in my full moon ceremonies and my guided meditations. I always have people come into the third eye, into your pineal gland, and start to move through that portal and see the life you want to live. Start seeing yourself as healed. Start to see the frequency you want to be at. Like, what is it? What is it that you want? Start seeing it, but not just seeing it. Start to feel it. These papers are going to prove to you, which I talk about a lot, how there is no difference between what you are feeling and what you're thinking in the universal field, because the field knows no difference. It just makes it so. That's why there's that great saying, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Because whatever you choose as your reality and start vibrating from there, feeling it, that's exactly what you're creating. Exactly. So start visualizing what it is you want. Start seeing it, but then really start to feel it. Like feel it in your gut. That great saying, oh, I just felt it in my gut. I just felt it in my gut. I knew I had to get off that park bench when I did because I felt it in my gut. Okay, this part's great. It says fundamentally, the gateway experience, because this is what they kind of called it, is a training system designed to bring enhanced strength. These are your tools, right? Focus and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output, what you're putting out, between the left and right hemispheres of the brain, so as to alter consciousness. Did you get that? To alter your consciousness. The minute you alter your consciousness, you can create anything. Anything. Moving it outside the physical sphere so as to ultimately escape even the restrictions of time and space. The participant then gains access to the various levels of intuitive knowledge which the universe offers. I mean, it's saying it right there. As soon as you close your eyes and get into that space of meditation and visually seeing and feeling it, you move beyond the parameters of your physical reality. That means you can change anything. You can literally do anything and change anything. There is no physical reality. And it's juicy. Oh, You can't imagine the amount of chills. I mean, most of you know me, the amount of chills. I was like, yes, and I teach that, and I've seen this, and oh, it's great. So great. Stay with me. In this way, Gateway endeavors to provide the subject with the tools by which he may alter his consciousness. How many times have I said, I've talked about it, and Mary's talked about it too. Nothing can exist in your body unless you decide and contract it to exist. Think about signing a contract. You go into agreement with it, right? If you're going into an agreement with something, then it is. Stop agreeing to things you don't want in your field. Rescind your contracts. It's that easy. Consciousness and energy. I know, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate. It's not that easy, Natalie. It's not. Oh, kids, I've been there. I've been there. I've been there when I was in the depths of hell. I was there. I was there after my daughter's death. I never want to live again. Oh, yeah. That was a very, very tough level. But you know what? I got past that level. I did. Solid matter, things that are solid, right? Solid matter, in the strict construction of the term, simply does not exist. Doesn't exist. Solid matter simply doesn't exist. So everything you see around you right now, everything you see around you is a vibration of energy. It's literally energy vibrating. And so are you. Which means we turn everything into matter. But that means that nothing is permanent. That means everything has to move because energy is always in motion. It always moves. So nothing is permanent. Nothing. I really want you to start thinking of this as a video game you're in. It's a hologram. It's a matrix. I know your mind's just beginning to grasp it. We'll get further down there. A live human cell vibrates at approximately 10.3 hertz. Okay. The point to be made is that the entire human being, brain, consciousness, and all is like the universe which surrounds him, nothing more or less than an extraordinarily complex system of energy fields. So if everything is just energy, if you right now have a tumor inside of your body, it's not solid matter, it's energy. It's energy. And if it's moving and vibrating, that means you can move it out. That means you can move energy. That means you can move through anything. The wall is not solid. If you can alter your consciousness, you can move through the walls. This is CIA declassified files, guys. They proved this. You can go anywhere. They also talk about remote viewing in here too, by the way, meaning you can move your consciousness anywhere. How many times at nighttime do you sleep and you astral project? By the way, every night. Because the soul doesn't get tired. The physical body gets tired, but the soul's not in there being like, well, we got 8 hours to go. I guess I'll just hang out in this physical body. Of course not. The soul goes, I'm off. I'm off. But your silver umbilical cord is connected until when you decide to die out the physical body and that cord is plopped, much like you cut the cord of the placenta, which is funny because I have the tree of life around me today. When you cut the cord of the placenta, when the physical baby is born, it's the same thing when you die. And your energy goes back, your astral soul, your spirit goes back, and that little silver umbilical cord gets cut. So at nighttime, you go off and you travel. And how many times do you meet up with like friends from the past and old boyfriends or girlfriends, or you go into these other places, right? That's all astral traveling. That's what you're doing. What if you were to do that in a conscious state? What if you trained yourself how to do that daily? You could change anything in your life. Remember, everything has to be done for good. It has to be done for love and for good. But you could heal yourself. You could heal anything, which you can, by the way. Remember, the video game is set up to challenge you. So every level you go to, even those pharma doctors that, like tell you, oh, it's incurable and you can't. Please remember, this is not real. You're in a hologram. You're in a matrix. You're just playing around in this body for a while and you're going to jump out again. The key to creating any hologram is that energy in motion must interact with energy in a state of rest. Meditation, right? Sleep. I can hear the guides talking at the same time, so I'm listening to what they're saying with this. The universe is composed of interacting energy fields, some at rest and some in motion. It is, in and of itself, one gigantic hologram of unbelievable complexity. So when they did this study, which took them years, by the way, they came back and said, oh, it's just a hologram. This isn't real. We are only temporary. We come in these bodies and we make this body, but the body's vibrating, right? Because of the energy inside, which means we're energy, but it's just one big hologram. This is when it starts to get super juicy. So I'm not going to bore you with all of the different like centimeters and all of that, but I am going to say quantum mechanics tells us that when we do this, we enter, in effect, a new world. Hang tight. Human consciousness passes through the looking glass of time-space after the fashion of Alice beginning her journey into Wonderland. So you literally move through like what they're referring to as a looking glass. And many of you know what the looking glass is. We're not going to get into that. There's so much of this. It's so good. When they get into time and space, they start to say, what's the beautiful thing about this is that they start to say that time and space, it has no beginning. They did not find it had any beginning, no ending, no location. It is conscious force, the fundamental primal power of existence without form, a state of infinite being. You may call it God, you may call it the gods, you may call it source, infinite experience, infinite whatever. It is a state of being. So they found a higher power. This is what they're saying. We found a higher power when we had our participants move through the portal, move through the looking glass, the gateway. They went to the infinite and they all came back and said, there was a higher power. And I was part of that field with the higher power. I was a part of all that is. I was a part of the love, of the pure positive light. I was a part of it. But there's a higher source, a higher power. Proven. Between the absolute and the material universe in which we experience our physical existence are various intervening dimensions to which human consciousness in altered states of being may gain access. This is so good. Let me read that again. Between the absolute and the material universe in which we experience our physical existence are various intervening dimensions to which human consciousness in altered states of being may gain access. I mean, is that a mic drop or is that a mic drop? Right there, right there. So this means that we can, and with my extrasensory abilities, which by the way, guys, I was born with. This is not, yes, you can train certain things, but there's just something in the water in Scotland. My mom has these, my grandmother has these. So I'm kind of like a different, you know, don't slot me into a pigeonhole with other people. But anyway, whenever I connect with them, it is a form of an altered state. So I go into a different frequency and then I can hear them, I can see them. And, you know, the angels, your guides, my mom used to call them the spirit children. And they're always beings of light, always beings of love. But when you go into an altered state like that, without substance, without alcohol, without any of that, you can access other dimensions, which means you can go and you can retrieve knowledge and wisdom. This is why I can see people's timelines and I can see things that are about to happen. I can see things in the past. we talk about the Akashic records. That's why I can go into the Akashic records, and it's so easy for me, because when you do that and you train in this, you get better and better and better. Some people are just born with it. Listen, everybody on earth has superpowers, every single person. I am not special in any way, shape, or form. I'm just me. Do not think that I'm saying that I'm special. I'm not. I just know what mine are. That's the difference. And I like to work, I like to do that. I like to focus on them and use them for good, use them for healing and for love and to connect people. That's it. So by reflecting on this model, it becomes possible to see how human consciousness, brought to a sufficiently altered, focused state, keyword being focused, could obtain information concerning the past, the present, and the future, since they all exist in the universal hologram simultaneously. Do you understand this? So it's pretty much this, exactly the same as what I see. I can literally look at someone and I can see the life that they lived before, and it's right there. It's the same thing that they're saying. This is what these participants did. The exact same thing. In the case of the future, because all of the consequences of the past and present can be seen coming together in the hologram, such that the future can be predicted or seen with total accuracy. Because what you're living now is an accumulation of everything you've chosen in the past. The only reason why you have your current reality is because everything you've chosen in the past. That's it. Can you change it at any time? Absolutely. Can change anything. Having ascertained that human consciousness is able to separate from physical reality and interact with other intelligences in other dimensions within the universe, and many of you, by the way, and that it is both eternal, so we're eternal, and destined for ultimate return to the absolute, we are faced with the question, so what happens then? Because we are eternal and we came from a higher power, we came from source, and we are forever, so what then? Since memory is a function of consciousness, right? It's a function of your life, of you, and therefore enjoys the same eternal character as the consciousness, which accounts for its existence, it must be admitted that when consciousness returns to the absolute, when you die and kick the body and return, it brings with it all the memories it has accumulated through experience in reality. Do you guys get that? It means that when you shake the body and when you pass away and when you die and you go back, you take with you all of the memories. It's all of the lessons learned. That's why when we cross over and we go and we do the life review, because we have to do the life review, and we watch the life that we just lived, the character we just took, the avatar we just took, and we watch all of the experiences and we see and feel everything that we did, everything that we were a party to, because we have to understand what we did that was good, exactly, perceived as good, or what we did that was perceived as bad, like what caused a bad ripple effect. So when we go back and we watch the life review, we want to see how we treated people. Were we kind? Did we speak words of kindness? Were we hateful? Were we gossipy? Were we, did you hurt someone intentionally? We see everything, but we feel it, and we feel it from the other person's perspective. So when you do the life review, it can be very hard for a lot of people because you actually feel what you did to someone, even if it was unconscious, and you see the ripple effect that they did from then on. That's all of the memories. We take it back with us. That's why when we come into a body, and a lot of times we have these traumas or these things that we're triggered by, and we go, well, I don't get it. I was sitting with someone the other day and she'd said to me, I never had any trauma in my childhood, like none. And then we had a conversation. I said, yeah, but you could have had trauma in other lives. All of that is coded into you. It's all coded in there. So when your soul picks a body and comes back, there could be trauma from other lives that's being triggered in this life. Because right here, if they prove that you contain and keep all of your memories from all of your lives and you come back, then there's bound to be triggers in there that don't make any sense. It's like when people have a very random fear of flying. People go, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. I can guarantee it's because you died in a plane before, 100%. It doesn't mean you're going to die in this life. It means that you've had that experience and you've not moved through it yet. You haven't healed it. So therefore, it has such a visceral pull on you. Yeah, they have a whole thing in here where they talk about colors. I'm not going to read it to you because it's very like it's very intricate. It's very hard to kind of explain, but in the layman's terms, what they're saying is when you close your eyes and you visualize on a color, in my meditations, I like to do white or I like to do gold. White is super healing. Of course, all the chakras have their specific colors. So, you've got the violet, you've got the purple and the violet and the red and the yellow. And of course, green is the heart. But when you focus on the colors, they actually proved in this study that it actually heals the area that you're focusing on. So I just led a moon ceremony on Monday night in a meditation, and I had all of the angels and guides pouring white healing light into everybody there, moving it through their body. And when you do that, you're actually healing the body. Like it's actually healing the body. And they proved it here. Yeah, some of this stuff is just so amazing. I mean, too much to read, but and this is when they start talking about the out of body, like really stepping out of your body. The actual techniques employed for separating from the body involve such simple maneuvers as rolling out, lifting out after the fashion of a telephone pole, wherein the individual separates in a rigid head-first manner, so like you're just coming straight up, such that he finds himself standing at attention at the foot of his physical body and sliding out through either end of his body. So you can roll out of the body, or you can slip out from the crown or from your feet. So this is what they found with their participants, and that was how they were all stepping out their body. Of course, it's different from everybody. This is pretty much the last paragraph that I was like, this is such a beauty. Oh, such a beauty. The concept of visible reality, i.e., the created world, as being an emanation, so you're emanating, of an omnipotent and omniscient divinity who is completely unknowable in his primary state of being. This is so because in order to attain self-consciousness, the consciousness of the absolute must project a hologram of itself and then perceive it. So what they're saying in a nutshell, I mean, I've condensed a gigantic file. What they're saying is they have found a higher power, God, source, infinite intelligence, love, all that is. And you are a part of that. So you've come from that. That's why in scripture it says God breathed life into people. Like he breathed life. He took like the dust of the ground, the dirt of the ground, made us. Like, think about it, like someone making us out of clay and breathe life into us. It's exactly what happened. Exactly what happened. So source, infinite intelligence, we are part of that, like the ocean. You scoop a cup of the ocean, and we came into this meat suit, and we are living in this hologram, this matrix, and we're going to kick around for a while and have this adventure, this experience, and then we're just going to slip right back out, and the physical body goes away. It's pretty much the Reader's Digest version of everything that I've ever taught at my Sunday services. Everybody that sat with me, I know it's come up in so many people's sessions. And it's interesting because I've known this my entire life. I've known this my entire life. I didn't want to teach this. I didn't, there's times where my gifts have been more annoying than anything else. I'm like, there's many times I'm like, why can't I just have a normal life? Why am I always pulled into this world. And there's times in my life where I've zigzagged in and out of it, and I'm a creative, so I love to do my creative endeavors at the same time, but I always get pulled back to this because I get it. Like, I read all of that, I think, in like 4 hours. I read the entire file. Like, I zipped through it, and then I went back, and with a fine-tooth comb I started making notes, and like, this is what they're talking about, this is what they're referring to, because I get it. I get it. The beautiful thing about this is it's teaching you that you are forever. You are eternal. You are a gift. You are light. And at the core of it, you are formless. There's nothing that exists in you right now that cannot be changed, that cannot be healed. There's nowhere on this earth that you cannot go to if you want to go to. There's nothing that cannot be resolved and solved and changed. You can move in and out of dimensions. So why not start to do it consciously? Why not start to say, is there someone on this earth I want to give love to? Is there someone who I feel has wronged me? Never hold on to any, it doesn't matter how anybody's treated you. I promise you. It doesn't matter if people come at you with hate. Doesn't matter. Don't take it on. Don't get into their vibration. You are no better than them if you get into their vibration. Stay in love, transmute it into love. And when you get there in your sleep, just go give them a hug. Go give them some love and just tell them, I hope you can find peace and happiness. And that's it. And then disconnect. But don't keep telling the same story over and over again. If it's a vibration of hate or of discord, stop it. Stop it. Most people in this world just have diarrhea of the mouth. Don't jump onto bandwagons of negativity and gossip and toxicity. Don't do it. You are a conscious creator. You're here to literally create whatever you want. Who is your character? Who is the avatar you chose? What is the name you gave yourself? What are your superpowers? What levels are you going through? What tools are you collecting for yourself? What memories are being made? Make them good. Make them positive. Make them kind. Be the love. And step into that place of knowing that you have the magic. There is magic anywhere. There's nothing you cannot change. I promise you. But you cannot change it from staying on the same level and being in the consciousness of where the problem is. I'm going to leave you with this. You contain within you a spark of the divine. You are the absolute. You can move anywhere. You can move in and out of dimensions. Make it good. Make it lovable. Make it kind. Go tell people you love them. Start creating, start painting whatever it is you want. You want something and someone says no, make another path. Make another path. No one is your gatekeeper. No one. It is your world to create. And like these branches on this tree right here, nothing will stop the growing of the branches. Nothing stops a river. You can't get in the river and start to hold it. It's not going to happen. Allow, surrender to the level you're on, surrender to all of it and start moving through it with adventure, with joy. My goodness, you're in this body. You get to play in this body. You get to see with the eyes that you're wearing. You're never going to see through these eyes again, ever. You'll never wear this body again. You'll never go by this name again. Start living. Don't focus on the bad. Don't focus on the negativity or all the stuff you've already gone through. You've gone through it. It's done. Start stepping into the place where you are. The words I am are the two most powerful things you can say. Start saying it. Start saying, I am magnificent. I am love. I am an infinite expression of source, enjoying this physical reality with everything that comes with it, the heartbreak and the joys and the laughter, all of it. Life is so beautiful when you embrace it all of it, I promise you. Because if you look back before you exit this body and you cannot appreciate and have gratitude for all of it, you have missed the point of the entire game. One chance here, kids, in this body. Make every second count. Start meditating. Start coming into your third eye. Start visualizing. Start feeling it. Don't get caught up in distractions. Don't get caught up in distractions. Check out, come back into the beautiful game of life. It's one big hologram, and you are the master creator. You are the magician. Use your magic. You had it all along. You've got this. And I love you. Namaste.